Gunther is the new Intercontinental Champion. I'm so happy for my older brother. I've heard after that chop, Ricochet is still nowhere to be found. And he already took some pictures with the championship. This is your champion, ladies and gentlemen. This is your champion. Looking at his WWE Championship title history, he's going to hold that championship forever. Would be pretty awesome if he could change the design as well. And welcome back to another episode of Greatness of SmackDown. That was actually a decent episode. We saw a new champion, we saw high stakes, we saw Money in the Bank qualifying matches, matches that matter. And maybe it was obvious that Riddle is going to win this match. But was it really? Roman is not really a fighting champion. He's living that life. So I wasn't sure, there was still a chance that Sami is going to take the W. What's interesting about this show is that we barely got any promos. So maybe that's why the show was good, it was just a little bit different. I don't know what's happening with the WWE lately. 2 good shows in a row. Did someone lock Vince McMahon in a locker room and gave him VR? Someone else is running the show. Now unfortunately WWE announced that Cody is going to be out for 9 months. Well, up to 9 months. So if you're not a fan of this undisputed WWE Championship title reign, I've got some bad news. Now this show kicked off with Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. This was a Money in the Bank qualifying match. And this gave me Raw 2020 vibes. You kinda knew what to expect from this match, just 2 titans, 2 people who have great chemistry. And that's why this episode was just different. We saw some good wrestling, which is kinda rare on SmackDown and Raw, because it's mostly driven by storylines, and most of the time these storylines aren't even good. So interesting match, high stakes. We saw a diving clothesline outside the ring, and the match had a very interesting ending. We saw a double chair shot, so none of them won the match. This was a no contest, so I believe WWE will find a way to add both of these guys to the Money in the Bank match. So the brawl continues, but thankfully we got Curtis Axel. Curtis just knows how to take care of business. Lacey Evans is ready to return, and this was another qualifying match. Lacey Evans versus Xia Li. Man, this is some Dragon Ball shit. So yeah, this was a very interesting match because I don't see anyone really losing. While it was still obvious that Lacey Evans is going to win, did she really need to win against Xia Li? So yes, women's right, Lacey Evans wins the match. She's gonna be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Xia Li losing, I don't know how I feel about it. Ever since she made her main roster debut, she didn't do anything special, anything meaningful, anything memorable. But Lacey did it for America. How long until this gimmick gets annoying? Put me in the match! I can't do that, there's a lot to process. I'll let you know next Friday. Put me in the match. Put me in the match. Drew McIntyre, are you new to Adam Pearce? Are you not familiar with his balls? You're not gonna manipulate him? You're not gonna scare him? This is Adam freaking Pearce we're talking about. Sheamus wants to be in the Money in the Bank match too. Are you ready for Ronda Rousey versus Natalya for SmackDown Women's Championship at Money in the Bank? Money in the Bank is one of the biggest WWE pay-per-views. We're seeing Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. Nope. This was such a bad promo. What was written for Ronda was actually pretty okay. Man, guys, I cannot wait. Because 3 weeks is not soon enough. I can't wait to prove Natalya that the armbar that I learned from my mom is very effective. It's superior to that cheap imitation of a sharpshooter you're using. This was supposed to be a big oof moment, cheap imitation of a sharpshooter. It's like she had some tiny pipe bomb, but delivered it like a robot. Shotzi says, if you're a fighting champion, fight me right now. So we got Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey, which was okay, but I don't know, man. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like it's a mistake having Ronda Rousey wrestling on SmackDown so frequently. I know it may sound hypocritical because that's exactly what we want from a champion, but Ronda Rousey is like Brock Lesnar in a way, or should be like Brock Lesnar. She doesn't need to wrestle on every SmackDown. She needs to feel special. So obviously Ronda Rousey wins the match. Then we saw Natalya with the attack, and man, you can do whatever you want with this. I ain't gonna care. Are we really supposed to treat Natalya as a threat right now? Then it was time for Gunther versus Ricochet for the Intercontinental Championship. This was Man, I think this was my favorite match of the night. Really good. Very different styles, but Ricochet's selling was just unbelievable. The chop was great. Gunther has a very interesting style. Like, he's a giant, but he's not really limited to that. It was a great clothesline. And I mean, the finish was great. What a response from Gunther. Powerbomb and a new Intercontinental Champion. I love this decision. I'm really glad it was this soon. You know, he just debuted. I'm really happy with this. He needs to look special. He needs to be treated as a star, like as a big deal. And you know, I'm probably not the only one. I would love to see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. That's an absolute dream match. Ricochet wasn't necessarily a bad Intercontinental Champion, but he's not a person who could make that championship legit. Now, Gunther can have an open challenge. Yes, he's a heel, that doesn't matter. He's so confident in his abilities. He shouldn't be scared of the WWE roster. Paul Heyman says, "You better win against Riddle tonight. Roman Reigns would be proud, and if you lose..." So a lot of pressure on Sami Zayn. This was a high stakes match. Basically, if Riddle wins the match, he's going to get the undisputed WWE Championship opportunity next week. Yes, next week Roman is back. That's crazy. If Sami wins, Riddle is barred from SmackDown. He should be. He's a Monday Night Raw superstar. This was another great match, and during this match I was thinking, Sami Zayn has such a strong character right now that sometimes we forget how great he is in the ring, and during this match, we actually saw that. During this match, Paul Heyman was giving Sami advice, but it was bad advice. Cover him again. Yeah, as if that's gonna work. My favorite moment was Riddle looking for an RKO, but mid-move, Sami Zayn catches him and delivers a blue thunder bomb. Sami is great. I also loved the finish, so Sami Zayn was looking for the Helluva Kick, but we got a running RKO by Riddle. Riddle wins the match, earns the opportunity. We saw the Usos attacking him. We got an early celebration because Riddle came back and he had a kendo stick. So Riddle stands tall, and next week we are getting a WWE Championship match. Roman wasn't defending the championship during pay-per-views, and now he's defending it on Fox. I don't hate this. You know, awesome. It's a very predictable match, it's a very obvious match, but I'm glad Riddle is getting that kind of exposure. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, another decent WWE show. Like I've said, I don't know what is happening. Vince McMahon must have something really interesting going on here, but I'm not gonna complain. You know, keep it up, WWE, please. Your injury list is pretty long right now, so please try. Anyway, people, thank you for watching this video, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.